And no matter what's going on in your life right now, no matter how many thoughts are racing around your mind, no matter how the body's feeling, just take a moment to sit down and take a big deep breath, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. As you breathe in, a sense of taking in fresh air, the lungs expanding. As you breathe out, a sense of letting go of any stress in the body, in the mind, just feeling the muscles soften and relax. And close your eyes if you'd like to. One more, breathing deeply in through the nose and out through the mouth. And just take a moment to pause. Allow the thoughts to come and go. And then just gently opening the eyes again.
What did Jesus say? That's right, I am the light of the world. Good morning, everyone. This week we're learning about perseverance. Perseverance means to keep going, to never give up.
Chapter 1. Katie discovers the dip. Katie was in class one day when Mojo had a brilliant idea. "Katie, I've had a brilliant idea," said Mojo. "We're taking Miss Clara's art class." "No way," said Katie. "I'm a mathematician, not an artist." "Or maybe you're just not an artist yet," said Mojo. "Well, I guess you're right. Let's do it," said Katie. And off to art class they went. Everyone was having a great time. Everyone, that is, except Katie. "Well, Katie, I'm already on my way to artistic greatness," said Mojo. "How's it going with you?" Terrible," said Katie. "It just doesn't look right." "Ooh," said Mojo. "You must be pretty nervous about the big show then, huh?" "What show?" said Katie. Mojo had forgotten to mention that Miss Clara's art classes always ended with a big show to celebrate the monster's artwork. This terrified Katie. Struggling in class was bad enough. Now the whole school would see. Katie tried to forget about the big show by diving into a book about her favourite inventor. Creator of the light bulb, Thomas Mojomus Edison. "Whoa! Mojomus Edison! How did I get in here?" "No time to talk now, Katie," said Edison. "Can't you see we're in the middle of the dip?" "Oh, sorry," said Katie. What's the dip?" "Huh?" barked Edison. "What's the dip?" shouted Katie. "The dip," said Edison. "Well, every challenge is like a journey. When you start, you're excited. You can't wait to succeed. But then, the journey isn't easy. You get frustrated. You think you should just quit. That's when you know you're in the dip." "Yeah, I know the feeling," said Katie. "But you're a genius inventor. Why are you in the dip?" "Everyone goes through the dip. It's the only way to learn things that challenge us. Things that make our minds stronger." Wow! So even geniuses go through the dip. But hold on, how do you get out of the dip? But just then, Mojo interrupted Katie's reading to say, "Lunchtime! Bruce says we're having sloppy joes. Let's go! Katie thought back to her struggle in art class. Maybe she was in the dip too, just like Edison. But what do you think? Is Katie in the dip? And if she is, how will she make it past the dip?
What do you think? Have a think. Here's chapter 2.
Chapter 2. Will Katie escape the dip? Last time, Katie learned about the dip, the struggle that everyone goes through, even geniuses like Mojomus Edison. Katie couldn't wait to tell her friends about the dip. Whoa, that's a totally rad idea, Katie, said Bruce. But how does one get out of this dip? I'll find out right after lunch, said Katie. I just have to read the rest of the book. After lunch, Katie couldn't wait to find the book and get out of the dip. She bolted to the library, only to find the book was gone. And Katie was crestfallen. The next day, Katie kept painting, but her heart wasn't in it. Yo, Katie! Are you out of the dip yet? Said Bruce. Oh, totally, said Katie. But the truth was that without the book, Katie had no idea how to get out of the dip. Suddenly, she saw something out of the corner of her eye. She couldn't believe it. It looked just like the dip. What do you think of my painting, Katie? It was Miss Clara. You know about the dip? Said Katie. Miss Clara, you have to tell me how to get out of the dip before the big show. Oh, said Miss Clara. Well, let's see what we can learn by watching Mojo. I'm not so sure about that, said Katie. I don't know if you've seen Mojo's work, but he's not exactly Vincent van... Whoa. Wow. It's so much better. How did he do that? You tell me, said Miss Clara. Watch. Katie watched Mojo closely. I've never seen him so focused, she said. Oh, he's just made a mistake, said Miss Clara. Watch what he does now. What was that? Said Katie. That, said Miss Clara, was Mojo's neurons getting much stronger. All because he stopped to reflect on his mistake. Oh, said Katie. Wait, what do you mean he stopped to reflect? To reflect, said Miss Clara, is just to look at your work and think really hard about how to make it better. Mojo reflects all the time. That's what gets him out of the dip. Wait, that's how you get out of the dip? It seems so simple. It is simple, agreed Miss Clara. But that doesn't mean it's not powerful. If you reflect often enough, the results may just surprise you. Katie still couldn't believe how much Mojo had improved. But she wondered, could she escape the dip by reflecting like Mojo? That was an interesting question indeed.
Chapter 3, tomorrow. Here's a quote from the Bible, from James chapter 1, verses 2 to 4. Consider it pure joy whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith develops perseverance. Perseverance must finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. That's a challenging command from the Bible. What this verse means is We are to look at hard things in our lives as joyful because we're learning something from it. We are developing something new that we couldn't do before. Think inside your own heads now. Is there something you want to do? A skill you want to develop that's going to need perseverance? Inside your own heads now, I'd like you to say your own prayer, asking for help to persevere so that you can achieve something. And for that prayer to be, you say, Amen. Well, that concludes our collective worship for today. Remember, if at first you don't succeed, try again. And I'll see you around school. And this week, children, I want you to be able to tell me, and I want your adults to be able to tell me, that you've been able to persevere with something you found tricky. I want to hear that you've worked hard at something